Hello, Geek Collective! LJ here. Even though Hades 2 has pretty much arrived, I have a few rogue-lites that you should not sleep on before this year is over. Two of them are copies that I received to cover on this channel, and I will share my honest thoughts on those. The first is BlazBlue Entropy Effect. BlazBlue Entropy Effect is technically a few years old at this point. It was released into Steam Early Access in 2023, with 1.0 dropping in February of last year. But not only is it still getting regular updates, it was also released on iOS and Android this year. From the same devs who brought us the indie game Icy, Entropy Effect's story is not connected to the overall plot of the BlazBlue series. In a post-apocalyptic world, you're a robot that utilizes prototypes for program training. The prototypes are characters that series fans will know and love. You'll spend your time moving from one room to another, gaining buffs and other upgrades upon clearing those rooms. A nice touch to the game is that each character plays very similarly to how they would in the main series, which was something even I picked up on after having not played a BlazBlue game in years. I went back and played Chrono Phantasma Extend to confirm, and was pleasantly surprised that it was indeed the case. The game's best rogue feature is that you can retain the memories from your prototype's previous runs and fuse them, which holds on to some of those upgrades for you to use on your next run. Out of the games on this list, Entropy Effect has the best combat, especially when all of your buffs are synergizing, enabling you to clear rooms while staying on your toes. And as I said before, the game is still receiving updates. Most recently, the Dead Cells collab unlocks the Prisoner as a playable character. It was really neat to go through the original Dead Cells levels as if I jumped right into that game. Next on the list is Fresh Tracks. This unique roguelite comes to us from an indie team by the name of Buffalo. Fresh Tracks was released on August 26th of this year. You can grab it on Steam, Xbox Series X or S, or PS5. The best way I can describe this game is that it's Beat Saber on skis. It is a rhythm game that has you dodging obstacles and slashing away objects that block your path. You'll also have to change lanes in the process as you speed through each area and the fantastic song that goes with it. The story of the game is very Norse mythology influenced, as you'll encounter mythics who are all gods and goddesses of different music genres. Since I'm apparently handing out rewards on this list, Fresh Tracks has the best presentation. The game is fully voiced and includes 28 tracks, bangers, that consistently immerse you into the moment. I feel that Fresh Tracks also has the strongest learning curve, but after a while I began to get comfortable in my skis. Various buffs you'll earn across each run greatly aid your journey, and the coolest feature of all is that you can unlock and replay scenarios to better hone your skills with each song. Not only is the gameplay loop highly addictive, but it is a treat for your eyes and ears. And finally, we have the Rogue Prince of Persia. Reaching 1.0 on August 20th of this year, this one comes to us from a team called Evil Empire, which is made up of former devs that worked on Dead Cells. You can grab it on Steam, PS5, Xbox Series X and S, and Nintendo Switch, with Switch 2 coming down the line. The plot is simple here. The Prince's kingdom is being invaded by the Huns, and it turns out they have some dark magic on their side. As the prince, you are tasked with restoring order and driving them out. The gameplay and its roguelite systems bear a strong resemblance to Dead Cells, which makes sense and is ultimately not a bad thing. What makes Rogue Prince of Persia unique is its movement, and it is the best at it among this short list. Dead Cells also had an emphasis on movement, but that is elevated for this addition to the Prince of Persia series. Not only do you have a dash, but you climb and hop across walls just like every prince has done since the sands of time. The extra run button also lets you traverse across walls that just sit at the back of the 2D plane, letting you cross even wider gaps. A unique feature of the game is that the prince might come across extra objectives. They usually involve freeing someone who eventually joins your camp, but it also moves the plot along and builds on the game's backstory and lore. Lastly, I dig the game's comic-inspired visuals and its soundtrack, which brings a slight hip-hop flair to the action. I didn't receive a review copy for this one, but still felt it was unique enough to shout out on this list. Oddly enough, I grabbed it on Steam a few weeks before the 1.0 update, when it shadow dropped onto Game Pass and PlayStation Plus that same day. Though I've played this one the least out of all the games on this list, I can't wait to play more, and I have no regrets about spending the money. With Hades 2 casting a large shadow over all indie games, it felt right to make this list as we all dive in. All of these games I have mentioned have a major focus on story, and I think we can thank the original game for that. Which one of these will you be checking out, or have you played any of them already? Let me know in the comments, and while you're at it, please drop a like and subscribe to show some love and stay up to date on all things Geeks Plus Gaming.